Good evening, everybody. This is just Bob Bowman, and I'm back with another live stream. It feels good. Feels good. This is my second one. I know that I don't have a lot of viewers just yet. I'm just starting, but hey, at least I'm here. At least I'm doing it. And what I want to share today was my most valuable experience, my most valuable moment while I was down in the Dominican Republic on my vacation. It's a lot of misconceptions of why people take vacations and trips, especially single black men. Why do we need our passports? Why do we need to move around? Why do we need to date or do this or do that? Everybody want to police what it is that we do when we all have freedom of choice. So I wanted to share my personal experience. I know I don't need to share this, but this is something that I believe will help other men out, other men that's struggling, other men that have issues going on in their lives that they might need some assistance with. Um, I just want to make it clear that anything personally that I did down in the DR is nobody's business. Who I dated, the women that I met, women I interacted with, it's nobody's business. But I had a very valuable moment that it really changed my perspective on how I view things, how I view my personal life. Before I get into that, I wanted to start the story off with the trip to the airport. And I was talking to my father and I was explaining to him certain thoughts and feelings that I had about, being single at 40, no children, how God might look at me because I am a believer. I'm a believer of the Most High. I know I'm not perfect. I know I don't have my stuff all together. I'm working on it. I'm getting better every day, but I am doing the best that I can at it. And so, he was giving me small talk and he was letting me know I shouldn't worry about it, even though in the back of my mind I still worried about it. Um, Before I went on the trip to Dominican Republic, I really didn't want to go, to be honest with you. I felt bad about it. I felt bad that I was taking this vacation by myself. It was the first time I've been out the U.S. in almost 18 years. The last time that I was out of the U.S., I was in the military. And this was the first time I was traveling outside the States without any military restrictions over my head. And now that I look at it, me as a younger person, it was good for me to have those military restrictions because it kept me out of trouble how I could have been in trouble back then because I was more easily manipulated uh, to try to fit in or whatever. But now that I'm older and I understand how things are and I've been smartened up to the game a lot more than what I was back then, I know how to conduct myself a lot better in public. And it helps that I've had quite a few errors in my past that I had to correct. So when I went down there, I went into this hotel in Sosua that was like right smack in the middle of all the activities. Like I figured out through my driver that kind of showed me around a little bit where the grocery store was, where all the liquor stores were, where all the restaurants were, where if I like everything that was in walking distance. So I was able to, like blend in good. I didn't stand out too much. Some people could tell that I wasn't from there, but most people they didn't really bother me. And the ones that did know that I wasn't from that area, it seems as though I've been there before, even though it was my very first time, because I walked to the grocery store with no problem, bought the food that I had brought to my hotel room with no problems, because I didn't want to spend all my money on just going out eating and stuff like that. Like some days I wanted to just chill in and work on whatever it is that I was working on, because I did a lot of reading. I did some work on a computer. like I took that time to really like relax and really get focused on what it is that I wanted to do with my personal time. I took some time to watch some golf on TV, which I really like watching golf. So it was a real good time to just kind of unwind and relax. And I took a break on going on YouTube a lot. Like I looked at Black Round 313 a little bit and Dennis Sperlin a little bit, but other than that, I really I stayed off of YouTube during that time. Plus, the Wi-Fi wasn't all that good, but I was still able to manage. But anyway, while I was down there, I met a group of men who identify as passport bros, and we had a real good conversation. They christened me in the passport bros. Um, and one of them was telling me about a VA center that was a block away from where I was staying at. It was across the street from the restaurant bar that we were at the time, but it wasn't open. It was around about 5 o'clock, and the hours of operation for the VA vet center that was there was 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I had a lot to do the following day, but I was open on Thursdays. On Thursday to actually go out there and go into the center and see what was going on, because he was telling me that it was massage therapy and chiropractors there, physical therapy. And so I was like, cool, if I get a free massage out of it, I'll go. So I went on Thursday, and the physical therapy, massage therapy was booked all the way through the rest of the week. But they had offered me free counseling services. And I already get counseling here in the States where I'm at because I'm former military, and I've been through some things that I don't want to talk about at this time, but I get free counseling. But they were just like, yeah, just we'll offer you some free counseling. They offered it to me that day, right then and there, after I filled out all the paperwork and showed my credentials and everything. So I met the lady, and she asked me why was I there, and in my mind I was thinking that she was asking me why was I in the VA center, but it was broader than that. She was asking me why was I on the island. And so I explained to her that I was on vacation. It was my very first time. She asked me, why did you pick this place? And I told her about Dennis Sperlin, how he motivated me to travel and get to this place. I have a very close and personal friend that I've known since I was in the military, since for 20 years now. He goes by International J, and he was always trying to get me to get my passport too, even before I knew about Dennis Sperlin. So you had them two. There was a few other people, that was trying to get me to expand my horizons and get out there and see what was going on in the world. So I explained that to her. And then the more that I was talking to her about my life, and I got to my nephew, and I was telling her about how I look at my nephew as a son and how I want to make sure that he's okay in the future. And I noticed that I had got real choked up, like I was in tears when I had started talking about my nephew, and I had to take a break. I didn't know why these emotions was coming out of me at that time. But then the more that we talked, and then I started talking about my belief in God and the Most High, I really started breaking out and crying. And she was like, wow, I didn't like, what is this coming from? And I told her about a fear that I have. And the fear that I have is that God won't accept me in heaven if I don't get married and have children, or be the responsible man that everybody say that I should be. I don't, be fruitful and multiply, that type of thing, because I take the Bible real serious. And And I was telling her that I fear going to hell because I'm not living up to the standards that God has for us. She helped me with understanding that God knows where I'm at in life. She's like, he sees everything, he understands how you feel, he knows what's going on in your mind and your heart and your spirit. And if you truly believe in him and you truly love him, he's going to truly love you just for who you are, even if you're not perfect, if you're just making an effort to try to be a better person. That's what matters. And the fact that I'm not on the same path as everybody think that I should be on, the standard path everybody think that I should be on, means that God might have another path for me. And she explained to me that the fact that I'm thinking about my nephew in the future, wanting to make sure that he's okay once he gets to my age where I'm at now, where he's not have to worry about having a house or having money and things like that, that I'm planning on making sure that he gets everything of mine once I pass on. Like that might be my purpose, like as far as legacy wise, is to look after my nephew. I might never have children of my own. I might never get married again. And it's okay. Like God understands the reasons of why it's not happening. And I need to stop beating myself up for it. God made me who I am, exactly who I am. And there's certain things about myself that I cannot change, that I've tried to change, but it's not going to happen because that's the way it is. And God knows who I am and why I can't change certain things. Um, Certain things that I can't change, it's caused me to lose a lot of friends. It caused me to lose the connection that I had with family members. Like there's certain family members that don't want anything to do with me. And I have to accept that. Like I can't keep getting upset about it. I can't keep getting mad because it's not going to change. Like they feel the way that they feel. I feel the way that I feel. And if I'm not getting what it is that I need here in America, I do need to go out and travel and figure out what it is that I need that fits right for me so I can be happy. And I don't want to seem like I'm bashing anybody because it's always this thing like, oh, you're bashing the women here, you're bashing B dubs, you're bashing this, and I'm not. I just got to the point to where I've accepted that they don't look at me the way that I look at myself, and how they think that I should interact with them or who I should interact with, it doesn't fit me. So with coming with to that conclusion, like I understand that things ain't working out here. And I have to do what I need to do to the best of my ability to make myself happy. I can't make anybody else happy. Everybody is responsible for their own happiness, just like I'm responsible for my own happiness. And if other people have the opportunity to pursue their happiness out here in the world, traveling, doing what it is that they do, I should have that same right. And I shouldn't have to feel ashamed or embarrassed about it, or shunned or ostracized or ridiculed or emasculated or uh, being treated as being insignificant because I have feelings. I have feelings too. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a person. I'm a human being. I know I'm not the richest person. I'm not the tallest person. I don't have a lot of influence, but at the same time, I'm doing the best that I can in my position. You know what I'm saying? Like I know I don't have a lot, but the little that I do have, I'm making sure that I'm doing what I can do to maintain it. Like yesterday, I worked on my car. This weekend, I did some repairs around the house. Is any of those projects done? No. but at least like I'm showing that I'm actually taking responsibility for it, and I'm working hard to maintain what it is that I do have. And when you do that, and people see that you take serious your job, you take serious where it is you live, you take serious how you take care of yourself, maybe one day somebody will open up their eyes and give you opportunity. Or I build myself up to the point to where I can open up my own business. Now, I've been working on a business and it hasn't been successful at this point, but at the same time, I'm not looking at it as a loss. I'm looking at it as a learning experience, because now I have more insight on what it would take to be successful. And I know that most people don't look at that in that way, and they just look at it as like, oh, you just failed and da 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 da. They want to just make the man feel as little as possible if they can, to put him in a position that they feel he deserves to be in. I'm going to continue to fight regardless. I'm going to continue to fight for myself. I'm going to continue to fight to love myself the way that I need to love myself. I'm going to continue to fight to find the person that I'm supposed to love and be with the way that I'm supposed to be with. I'm going to continue to fight for all those things. It may, like, nothing that I want may never happen, but at the same time, I'm going to continue to put forth the effort to make it happen. And that's the most important thing, is not giving up. Like, yeah, I would like a family, but if it comes to it and I have to leave everything to my nephew, that's great, because he's going to be in a better position, and I can pass that on to him, and he can do what he needs to do, and then he can take off even higher than where I've been. Like, I got my bachelor's. He can end up with his PhD. I've been to the military, is enlisted. He can end up in the military and be an officer. As long as I give out positive energy to the world. And that's what this whole podcast, this whole live stream that I've been doing is all about. It's about being positive. It's about showing different alternatives where you don't have to be miserable. I don't want to be miserable anymore. I don't want most people to, like, everybody shouldn't be miserable unless they did some terrible crime and they in jail. Other than that, like, most people should not be miserable. Like, if we are in a free society and we are in an equal society, we should be able to do what it is that we want. That's especially in America. We're supposed to be able to maneuver the way that we want, be who it is that we want to be. And if we can't be exactly where it is that we want to be, at least have the ability to make things where it's bearable for us. And that's where I'm at. I'm just trying to make my life where it's bearable for myself, where I can be happy sometimes. I know I'm not going to be happy all the time, but I want to be happy at least once in a while. Work hard, knowing that, like, even though I work hard, I'm going to mess up sometimes. I just, like, no matter what, I'm still going to do the best that I can. Um, I understand that a lot of people ain't going to appreciate me or appreciate what it is that I'm trying to bring out. But at the same time, I don't care anymore, because it's not about them. At the end of the day, me doing these live streams is more about me, more about me expressing myself, is expressing my point of view on things. Um, but that was the most valuable moment that I had in the Dominican Republic, is going to that vet center and speaking to the counselor and explaining to her how I was feeling. And she did help me with understanding that the Most High, He understands where I'm at. He understands I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect. None of us are going to do everything right or the correct way. But as long as we put in forth effort to being good people, He'll understand. And that's all I got to say. I didn't want to make this too long. I'm just excited that I got started on another live stream. This is my second live stream. I wasn't even planning on starting to do these, but it's something in my spirit to get me out here and to talk. Uh, it doesn't matter who listens or who doesn't. I'm still getting a chance to express myself, get my point of view across. I love everybody. I know everybody don't like what I have to say, but hey, it is what it is because you're not going to stop me from speaking. So, other than that, this is just Bob Bowman, and I'm done for the day. Have a nice evening.